Hello everyone. Today my group will going to present about India country that impact international trade. For the first part is the new update on the economy, political, legal and technology environment of this country and its impact on international trade. For the economy, India has emerged as a desirable location for foreign investment as one of the world's fastest growing major economies and is anticipated to be one of the top three economic powers in the next 10 to 15 years. Since 1991, India has followed strict policies that have limited the economy's access to international commerce, resulting in more protectionism than open market trade. The Indian government has implemented economic reforms in order to revive the economy. Then the fiscal reforms. The fiscal reform include the tariff reduction based on a high volume of import exchange rate and the use of the exchange rate as an export promotion and trade policy instrument. The current administration and ruling party have kept the political landscape under control, creating an investor-friendly environment. India has acquired influence in the global economy, as evidenced by its membership in international institutions and free trade agreement with ASEAN and the EU. This is seen in India's desire to embrace foreign best practices in the manufacture of a variety of goods and services. Next is the political context. In May 2019, in 2020. Next, in 2021, India has massive demonstration by Indian farmers over controversial agriculture measures. The government was planned to present 3 laws that would ease restriction governing the selling, price and storage of farm produce, rules that have previously safeguarded farmers from the free market. Modi, which is the Prime Minister, however, reversed the agriculture reform as a result of the protest. And in addition, India continues to oppose joining the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, which is RCEP, mostly to preserve local farmers and industry interests, which might result in the nation losing market share in the world's largest trade bloc. Next slide is the legal environment and technology environment. Legal environment applicable for the contract of law contained in the Indian Contract Act 1872. In order to give equal treatment to national and foreigners, India requires non-discriminatory treatment in all circumstances dictated by the Constitution. With this, every foreign investor who wants to do business in India or with Indian counterparties has to have enough knowledge, discovery about the country, and a good entry strategy. The type of the company, the industry in question, the scope of operation and expenditures, and other commercial objectives with all influence the entry strategy. Foreign investor can establish a corporation, a branch office, or a limited liability partnership (LLP) in India in general. Lastly, the market for environmental technology in India, worth 23.22 billion in products and services. Due to technology, licensing, engineering contracts, consultant work, and other factors, service exports are increasingly replacing produce commodities. It's difficult to track exact trade figures as technologies become more complex, but growth trends can be seen in a proxy of key goods in the air, water and waste management subsectors being imported by India to meet sharply increasing demand. That's all for me. I will pass to my group members.
My name is Nazifa, Sahira, Binti, Shahrani. I would like to explain about how government India influence on the international trade. First one, they implemented tariff localization requirement, local standard, labeling process, pricing control, and import limitation. Second, they enact policy to promote the establishment of native industry in response to the increasing focus on self-reliance. Third, they declare a decrease in export tariff or tax, which is ROTTAP. And the fourth one, they advocate for a WTO agreement on trade facilitations. And the Indian government also maintains a non-tariff restrictions on prohibited imports, restricted goods and canalized goods. And the last one, they also emphasize on self-reliance as a strategy to generate and promote Indian companies and employment. So as you can see, there are many bilateral and multilateral agreements that signed by Indian country. But I only give the two examples, which is APTA, which known as Asia Pacific Trade Agreement, and there is SAFTA, which known as South ASEAN Free Trade Area. Next, we move to sixth example, the bilateral and multilateral agreement by Indian country. So the first one is the ASEAN-Indian Trade in Goods Agreement, which known as Indian-ASEAN TIG. There is a main trade deal between the 10 member states of ASEAN and India. The agreement has led to steadily increased trade between ASEAN and India since its signing. Okay, next one. The Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement (CEPA) is a free trade agreement between India and South Korea. The agreement will ease restriction on foreign direct investment for both countries. And the third one is Asia Pacific Trade Agreement, which is known as APTA. It's a regional trade agreement known as the Bangkok Agreement. APTA is to aim to promote economic development of its members through trade liberalization measures that contribute to regional trade expansion and economic cooperation. So, we move to the fourth one. The Japan-India CEPA promotes liberalizations of trades in goods and service of investment between Japan and India. They also enhance bilateral economic partnership, strengthens cooperation in various areas, which include movement of natural persons and intellectual property. The fifth one is Malaysian-Indian CECA is a comprehensive agreement that covers trades in goods, trades in service, investment and movement of natural persons among Malaysia and Indians. And the last one, the free trade arrangement of the South ASEAN Associations for Regional Cooperation, which known as SAARC. SAFTA recognizes the needs for special and differential treatment for LDC in its preamble.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to Dr. Salwani and fellow friends. My name is Nurul Wahida Binti Hasnol and my metric number is 269988. Today, I want to discuss about the new updates on the current foreign trade policy in India. So, in order to provide a policy stability during the pandemic phase, the 5-year Foreign Trade Policy or FTP in 2015 to 2020 was extended for the years 2020 to 2021 and 2021 to 2022. The FTP aspires to create a predictable and equitable environment, promote best and sustainable trading practices, and provide more depth, breadth, and value-added penetration in the global market. Then, it will also improve the efficiency and simplicity of doing businesses by cutting the transaction costs and by implementing this additional measure, and it will become the integral element of the global value chain. One of the major schemes in current India FTP, the merchandise export from India scheme MEIS and service export from India scheme SEIS. Okay, as you can see on the screen, this is the table of the issuance of scrip under MEIS and SEIS, along with the scripts and FOB value during the export. Last but not least, I'm gonna talk about the impact of the current FTP on the foreign direct investment and international trade. Okay, so the first impacts are that India's global position is being clarified. It is critical to clarify the India's position and alignment with flagship program such as the Local for Global and the PLI, the Production Linked Incentive schemes, as well as WTO rulings against India export incentive schemes. Okay, the second point worth mentioning is the impact on the oriented business. Another argument for revamping the FTP that is certain and ad hoc. The missed time and conflicting revision to the 2015 FTP have harmed some of the export-oriented enterprises. Then the 2015 FTP encouraged export by directly awarding duty credit scrip in proportion to export. So, as a conclusion, India is clearly one of the top 3 emerging countries in which every country connect itself in order to trade. So, it is vital to highlight that India economy is expanding at a rapid rate, offering chances to international investors to contribute to the country economic growth. So, I guess that's all from our group. Thank you very much.